Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to For StarCraft 2 Strategy, your number one location for step-by-step strategy and tutorial videos. Today we're going to be taking a look at the second half of that 2v2 strategy, that 3 Warpgate Marine Marauder early game push. We're going to be taking a look at it from the Protoss player's point of view. Now again guys, we're not jerks, we just didn't see this. We usually respond. I think we're talking in Skype at the point. Wasn't really paying attention to on-screen text. So anyways, basically what we're going to be looking at from the Protoss player's point of view is we're going to be trying to get that cybernetic score up and research that warp gate as quickly as possible. And then once that warp gate is done researching, we're going to be pushing out with a 3-gate push, dropping proxy pylons right outside of where we're going to be attacking to reinforce very quickly. And kind of, again, take advantage, like I said in the last video, we're going to take advantage of the fact that a lot of players in these 2v2 scenarios, they kind of feel safe, they feel like they can expand early, they feel like they can tech up, and if you can hit them early, a lot of times you can take them by surprise. I think we played about 15 or 20 games last night, and the last 6 or 7 games looked almost identical to what we're going to be taking a look at right here. We amassed a somewhat sizable force early in the game. We pushed out, and they weren't prepared for it, and that's that, basically. And I think we're sitting around rank 10 diamond. I've had people say that I shouldn't mention my rank, that doesn't matter. Well, I'm going to mention whatever I feel like mentioning, so we were ranked 10 diamond at the point in our particular division. Points, I didn't look at the points that we had, but we were ranked 10 diamond. So, I mean, I guess they're right, since, you know, the different ranks, the point system from divisions could be vastly different. You know, you could be in a division that rank 1 only has like 500 points. But I mean, if you're in the Diamond League, you're in the Diamond League. You should know what you're doing. You should have a decent idea of what's going on. And if you're within the top 50 of the Diamond League, I expect you to be a relatively good player. So that's no reason to be nitpicky, angry pants over that. So yeah, taking a look at the build order here, we started off with that 9 supply depot, followed it up with the 12 gateway. Once the gateway was building, we went ahead and we got that assimilator, saturated that once it came up. As soon as the gateway finished building, you want to get that cybernetics core. Obviously dropping this pylon to stop any supply blocks so we can keep producing probes here. And again, basically what we're trying to do, the goal here, is to get Warpgate as quickly as possible. We want to get Warpgate up as fast as possible. We want to start researching it, start chrono boosting it immediately. As you can see right there, started researching Warpgate right away, saving up our chrono boost. You can see we're sitting on a little bit of energy still, so once this chrono boost is done, we're going to do it again. And as soon as usually what you want to try to do is you want to try to get some gateways at some point in between. The best time to do it, unless of course you want to take advantage of being able to build while Warpgate is still researching, if you start building your gateways when it's 3/4 of the way done, they will be finished exactly at the time the warp gate is done researching. But again, it's not a bad idea. As you can see here, we're dropping it early. What this is going to enable us to do is build out of it while we're still waiting for our warp gate research. So it'll allow us to kind of ramp up our army, to have a little bit of a stronger base of an army before we start warping in units. So again, not a bad idea. Definitely can be effective. Taking a look at the cool Terran dude over here. He's coming out with some units here. He's coming out with some Marauders and Marines, researching that concussive shell, and then going to follow suit by researching that stim pack there. And if you take a look over at our allies, as you can see, again, the Zerg player here has expanded early. As I said in my last video, huge mistake I think in 2v2. It just puts you in such a vulnerable position, and you'll see in this particular video exactly why that is. Now I am scouting. Unfortunately, I did lose that SCV. Those jerk Marines killed it. Not very kind of them. SCVs. He was just trying to look around, you know, guys. There's no reason for you to start shooting. So trigger happy, I swear. So yeah, I mean, taking a look back at the base here, that warp gate has come in now. We're going to be warping in some units. We drop in that proxy pylon. We decided we're going to hit this back ramp here. In 2v2, a lot of these large 2v2 maps have a lot of back entrances. It almost makes it nonsensical to try to block off or wall off the front of your ramp, because there's so many back entrances. If you kind of set up a static defense and your opponents go for one of those back entrances, you have to just move your whole army over there. All those defenses at the front were completely pointless, and then if they go and attack them and you lose those frontal structures, well, then you're losing those buildings for nothing, because it's not like they're really providing you with that much defense, since they could easily just go in one of the back doors. So what was all that about? Basically what I'm saying is that these in these 2v2 maps, these back doors are basically the smart way to enter someone's base, because a lot of times people will kind of try to wall off this front, and it'll be basically to no avail. It'll be kind of a pointless move. As you can see, he had all his units up here. Finally realizing that we're pushing in here, he's going to be having to pull them all the way back. So I mean, they could have been shooting that entire time, but nope, didn't happen. So we're going to be moving up here, taking out this hatchery. We're going to be reinforcing with additional units. Again, we do have that proxy pylon there, going to be very helpful. And back at our base, just basic stuff, mining, nothing exciting going on. We haven't prepared for any tech switches yet. We're kind of going for a strong all-in push here. And especially after seeing the fact that he expanded, we know that he's not going to have too much of an army. And dropping kind of an additional forward pylon, kind of leapfrogging them, cutting back on just that short distance is definitely going to help to reinforce faster, and sway the tide of the battle in our favor, basically. So kind of getting trapped in, we kind of didn't get the best concave here, getting trapped in between the two forces. Luckily, again, that Zerg player just didn't have sufficient force to deal with this attack, and it really didn't matter at that point. You definitely don't want to get caught in this end of the concave. You would much rather be in the position of the outer, the larger, the wider concave. Like as you can see here, we're at a wider concave than this guy, and so we're at the benefit. Basically what that means is that our units are taking full advantage of their range and their attacks when they're at the larger concave. You always want to be at the larger end of the concave. That's always the place you want to be. So yeah, Zerg player goes ahead and leaves the game. Game's over. Obviously, that push was too much for him to handle. We were reinforcing more units just in case he didn't leave. And then again, at this point, you can go ahead and take advantage of the fact that we've crippled them so much. If they decided to stay, I mean, if he obviously, if you take a look here, he doesn't have anything, but if he had saved a couple of drones and managed to maybe move an expansion over here and try to stay in the game, we want to take advantage of the fact that we crippled them by expanding early, and taking an economic lead. So yeah, guys, again, this has been for StarCraft 2 strategy. We just took a look at that the Protoss half of the 2v2 3-gate Marine Marauder early push. If you guys like our videos here and you like what we're doing, please do go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Keep watching and keep owning, guys.